Prabhu, do you want to chant the prayers?
Yes.
Haribol.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Ajnanatirmirandasya Jnananjana Chakshurannimitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namah. Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Padamajam Tadati Supadantitam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yutpatkamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavam Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sarvana Raghunatham Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijam Saitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sarvam Nandita Shri Vishakhanvitam Shri Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dina Bandhu Jagatpate Gopesh Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gauranti Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vishvanu Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Priya Vancha Kalpatarubhishya Kripa Sindhu Vyacha Patitanam Pavanejyo Vaishnava Namo Namah Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Preshaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swami Nityananda Namaste Saraswati Devi Gaurvani Pacharana Nirvishni Chitanyavadi Prashadate Shitavine Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasadi Gaur Bhaktavinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Narayanam Namaskritya Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayamudhirayat Srimvatam Sakata Krishna Punya Shravana Kirtana Vidyantasto Yavatrani Vitumoti Suritsitam Nashtaprayeshu Vatreshu Nityam Bhagavati Sevaya Bhagavati Uttama Bhaktir Bhavati Nashtaki. Before reciting the Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam, which is the very means of conquest, one should offer respectful obeisances unto the Supreme Personality of Godhead Shri Krishna, Godhead Narayana, unto Naranarayana Rishi, the supremest human being, unto Mother Saraswati, the goddess of learning, and Krishna, the Vyasdev, the author. Shri Krishna, the personality of Godhead, who is Paramatma, supersoul in everyone's heart, and the benefactor of the truthful devotee, cleanses the desire of material enjoyment from the. You can slow down. For material enjoyment from the heart of the devotee who has developed the urge to hear his messages, which are in themselves virtuous and properly heard and chanted. By regular attendance in the classes on the Bhagavatam and by rendering service to the pure devotee, all that is troubles unto the heart is almost completely destroyed, and loving service unto the personality of Godhead, whose praise we transcendental is established as an irrevocable fact. Śrīmad Bhāgavatam ki jai, Śrīla Prabhupada ki jai.
Jai.
Hare Krishna Gaurashakti Prabhu Nityananda Jai Śrīla Prabhupada.
Shri Krishna Gora Shakti Prabhu Tanda Pram Jai Shri Prabhupada.
Hey Krishna, dear Prabhus, please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada.
Okay, this is the first verse.
Should I continue, Prabhu?
Yes, Prabhu.
X9. Tatraha va innam devashir hamsa yunina pitaram bhagavantam hiranyagarbham upalabhamanaha sahasvai sahasaivottaya ramina sahapita putrabhyam avahitanjali upatasthe. Synonyms Tatra, there, Hava, certainly, Enam, him, Devarshi, the great saint Narada, Hamsayanina, by the swan carrier, Pittaran, his father, Bhagavantam, most powerful, Hiranyagarbham, Lord Brahma, Upalabhamana, understanding, Sahasa Eva, immediately, Uttaya, having stood up, Arhanina, with paraphernalia of for worship, Saha, accompanied, Pita Putrabhyam by Priyavrita and his father Swayambhu Manu, Avahita Anjali with respect and folded hands, Upatasthe worship. Translation proper by Swami Precious Bhaktivinoda Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Translation. Lord Brahma, the father of Narada Manu, is the supreme person within this universe. As soon as Narada saw the great swan, he could understand that Lord Brahma had arrived. Therefore, he immediately stood up, along with Swayambhu Manu and his son Priyavrita, whom Narada was instructing. Then they folded their hands and began to worship Lord Brahma with great respect. Purport. As stated in the previous verse, Lord Brahma was accompanied by other demigods, but his specific carrier was the great swan. Therefore, as soon as Narada Muni saw the swan, he could understand that his father, Lord Brahma, who is also known as Hiranyagarbha, was arriving. Thus, he immediately stood up with Swayambhuva Manu and his son Priyavrata to receive Lord Brahma and offer him respect. Text 10. Bhagavan api bharata tad upanittarpana sutta vakinatitaram udita guna ikanvattara sujaya prayattam adipurushastam sadhaya asavaloka iti uvacha. Bhagavan, Lord Brahma, api, moreover, Bharata, O King Parikshit, that by them Upanita brought forward Arhana, worshipable paraphernalia, Sukta, according to Vedic etiquette, Vakena, by language, Atitaram, Ivy, Udita, praised Gunagana, qualities, Avatara, because of the descent, Sujaya, whose glories, Priyavrata, unto Priyavrata, Adipurusha, the original person, Tam, unto him, Sadaya, with compassion, Rasa, smiling, Avaloka, who's looking, Iti, thus, certainly, Uvacha said, translation, my dear King Parikshit, because Lord Brahma had finally descended from Satyaloka to Bhuloka, Narada Muni, Prince Priyavrata, and Swayambhu Muni came forward to offer him objects of worship and to praise him in highly qualified language, according to Vedic etiquette. At that time, Lord Brahma, the original person of this universe, felt compassion for Priyavrata and looking upon him with a smiling face, spoke as follows. Purport. The Lord Brahma descended from Satyaloka to see Priyavrata indicates that the matter was very serious. Priyavrata would badly
Prabhu, your voice is cutting.
little down.
Prabhu, your voice was cutting. We didn't hear the beginning.
And purport should I share?
Yes, Prabhu. Can you start again?
Yes, Lord. Purport. That Lord Brahma descended from Satyaloka to see Priyavrata indicates that the matter was very serious. Narada Muni had come to advise Priyavrata about the value of spiritual life, knowledge, renunciation, and bhakti. And Lord Brahma knew that Narada's instructions were very impressive. Therefore, unless Lord Brahma personally went to Gandhamadana hill to request Priyavrata, Lord Brahma knew that Prince Priyavrata would not accept his father's order. Brahma's purpose was to break Priyavrata's determination. Therefore, Brahma first looked upon Priyavrata with compassion. His mild and compassionate features also indicated that although Brahma would request Priyavrata to accept household life, Priyavrata would not be out of touch with devotional service. By the blessings of a Vaishnava, everything is possible. This is described in Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu as Kripa Siddhi, or perfection attained and by executing, perfection attained simply by the blessings of a superior person. One usually becomes liberated and perfect by executing the regulative principles set down in the Shastras. Nonetheless, many persons have achieved perfection simply by the blessings of a spiritual master or superior. Priyarata was the grandson of Lord Brahma, and as joking competition sometimes takes place between grandson and grandfather. In this case also, Priyarata was determined to remain in meditation, whereas Lord Brahma was determined that he ruled the universe. Thus, Lord Brahma's affectionate smile and glance meant, "My dear Priyarata, you have decided not to accept household life, but I have decided to convince you that you must accept it." Actually, Brahma had come to praise Priyavrata for his high standard of renunciation, austerity, penance, and devotion, so that he he would not be deviated from devotional service, even though he would accept household life. In this verse, one important word is Shuktavakyana by Vedic hymns. In the Vedas, there is a following prayer, Lord Brahma, Hiranyagarbha Samavartata Tatagre Bhutasya Jata Tatil Eka Brahma received with appropriate Vedic hymns, and because he was welcomed according to the Vedic etiquette, he was very pleased. Prabhu, would someone else continue?
Well, Prabhu?
Could someone else continue? Maybe you are a Gorshakti Prabhu.
Korashakti Prabhu, are you free?
For 20 minutes, less than 20 minutes, yes.
Oh, Haribol. Yes, Prabhu, can you read?
Yes, of course.
Thank you so much.
Prabhu, actually, I need some clarification. So here, Narada Muni gave the instruction that you should take devotional service, that you should not give up devotional service. Am I right?
Yes, Prabhu, I think so.
And Lord Brahma came to advise that you should take up household life.
Yes, Prabhu. Was it in this verse? Was it already spoken or? Yes, Prabhu, I think like this he tried to advise, but Narada Muni didn't want this.
Sorry, Gubi?
Actually,
But Narada,
Narada Muni always try to convey one to devotional service.
Yes, Prabhu.
But Brahma, because he is he is the one who need to how to say that, manage the whole universe. Sometimes he need that the Prajapati they do their job, procreate.
Yes, Prabhu.
But you
Yes,
know,
Prabhu.
Narada Muni is a Vaishnava. You know, he can't help himself. He will advise if he notice that the person is like very austere and very renunciate, then automatically he will preach to that person. You see, he did the same thing with the son of Daksha in the Canto 6. You know. Narada Muni he saved 10,000 son of
Yes, yes, Prabhu.
Daksha.
Yes, Prabhu. Yes, Prabhu.
yes, Prabhu.
And
Hare
Daksha
Krishna,
was
Prabhu's
very
Krishna,
angry at him and he cursed him, you know. So, Hare Krishna, Hare Prabhu. So you see, the main thing is that Narada Muni is always eager to help those who are already very, advanced, in devotional, in their practice, in their spiritual life, The son
Yes,
of
brother.
Daksha were very austere and very, renunciate, and very pure. So it just helped them to reach the higher understanding. But Brahma, he just want to you just procreate, you are
Yes,
Prajapati,
brother.
you just procreate, and like this the whole universe will be full of good soul and everything. So the main things that Lord Brahma is, he tried to manage the whole universe, and Narada Muni somehow sometimes he just came and did the right thing. This is not this is the right thing, but it's funny. When you
Yes,
think of
brother.
this is quite funny because he did the same thing for Daksha, and Daksha was very angry. But then, after he became angry, after some times, he understand what Narada Muni did, and he himself got liberated. You see? So the
Yes,
point is that, yeah, of course, Brahma want them to uh, have son and have children and all this, but Narada Muni saw that he can preach to that king, so he preached because his
yes, brother.
business as a Vaishnava is to propagate Krishna consciousness and to liberate the conditioned souls. Uh, This is his
Yes, brother.
business. So Narada Muni is showing us the real preaching mood, despite the fact that some people will not be happy, or even great personality will not be happy. The greatest welfare of all the three worlds, the whole universe, is to preach Krishna consciousness. This is the greatest welfare of the whole universe. So we
Yes,
must follow the footstep of Narada Muni. This is the teaching here. Despite the fact perhaps Brahma is not willing to, you know, because Brahma, of course, he will try to manage the world. It's hard, to manage all this. Uh, so he tried to put some saintly person, under this responsibility to manage the whole earth, and he tried to, okay, this is a good Raja, this is a good king, so you become a householder and you take care of this, you know.
yes,
Because
brother.
we needed also some good king, but Narada Muni, when he preached to someone, automatically this person will become very good, a great, devotee, because Narada Muni potency is so great, when he preached to
Yes, brother.
someone, automatically this person will become a pure devotee. So this is what I understood from the Canto 6. Narada Muni is such a exalted Vaishnav that whenever he go, whatever this is only for preaching purpose. When he begin to preach to someone, you can be assured that this person will become a pure devotee. Such
Yes,
is
brother.
the glory of Narada Muni. So I'm sorry I speak too much, but because
No,
this is
brother.
very, very interesting, and at the same times a little funny also, because you can see different. Brahma is also, in the Canto 2,
Yes, brother.
he said that the Brahma Sampradaya is for preaching, is for liberating the whole the whole jiva, atma, the whole conditioned soul. So Brahma Sampradaya is for preaching, but Brahma is still a great personality that need to take care of the earth, and he's in passion. So passion is related to what? Related to household life, right? So
Yes,
this
brother.
is this is his mood. The mood is that, oh, You know, you should become like this, and you know, you just become a good householder, you know, and like this is his mood, you know. But Narada Muni is not like this. He is nice cheeky brahmachari. So this is just like the Sanat Kumara, you know, like when the Kumara didn't want to listen to Brahma, and then he said, "Oh, you just become, you know, householder, and you, you know, you beget children." And the Kumala said, "No, we we did not want to do that, you know." And then Brahma became angry, and then Rudra came and, you know, appeared. But you know, this is the main thing now. Nada Muni is the same mood. Like he's nice cheeky brahmachari. He just want to preach strongly. That's all, and to liberate souls. This is his mood. So yeah,
Yes,
I don't know if you can understand what I meant, but yeah, there are
yes,
two different point of view. Like there is Brahma who try to manage the whole universe with to give responsibility to those, and knowledge to those who who can become great king and like this, and Narada Muni who only business is to preach and to save. To give devotional service to everyone, you know, especially those who are already good candidates, you know. So yeah,
yes,
this
Lord.
is my take on it. Sorry if I make any mistake, but yeah,
No,
this is
Lord.
how I understand it. Thank you very much for the
Thank you,
opportunity
Lord, for
to.
expressing.
No
Thank you so much,
problem, no
Prabhu.
problem. So
Will you read?
can I continue?
Yes,
Can I
Prabhu.
read
Yes, Lord.
at least one verse, and then the one Prabhu can take on?
Yes, brother.
So
And I was about to say, can I read after?
no problem. I know what you were about to say. You
Had to
don't need to.
go. Had to
Yeah.
go.
Yeah, because I know your enthusiasm uh, about reading. And this is very nice.
Oh, I'm such a bastard,
Shri
bro. Had to go.
Bhagavan Vacham Nibodham Taditam Ritam Bhavimim Mashuyitum Devam Arashyaplamyam Vayam Bhavaste Tata Isha Narashil Vahamma Salve Vivasayasya Dishtam. Shri Bhagavan Vacha, the Supreme Person, Lord Brahma, said, Nibuddha, kindly hear with attention, Tata, my dear son, idam, this, ritam, true, bhavimi, aham, speaking, ma, not, ashritam, to be jealous, of, devam, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, arashi, you out, Apramayam, who is beyond our experimental knowledge. Vayam, we, Bhava, Lord Shiva, Te, Yo, Tata, Father, Esa, this Maharishi, Narada, Maharishi, Vahama, Vahamaha, carry out, salve all, Vivasaham, unable to deviate, Yasya, of whom this time the order, translation and purport by His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada Ki Jai. Lord Brahma, the Supreme Person within this universe, said, My dear Priyavrata, kindly hear attentively what I shall say to you. Do not be jealous of the Supreme Lord, who is beyond our experimental measurement. All of us, including Lord Shiva, your father and the great sage Maharishi Narada, must carry out the order of the Supreme. We cannot deviate from this order, from his order. Purport of the 12 great authorities in devotional service. 4. Lord Brahma himself, his son Narada, Swayambhuva Manu, and Lord Shiva were present before Priyavrata. They were accompanied by many other authoritative sages. Brahma first wanted to impress upon Priyavrata that although these great personalities are all authorities, they cannot possibly disobey the order of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, who is described in this verse as Deva, which means always glorious. The power, glory, and potencies of the Supreme Personality of Godhead can never be diminished. In the Ishopanishad, the Lord is described as Apapavidya, which indicates that he is never affected by anything materially considered sinful. Similarly, Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam describes the Supreme Personality of Godhead as being so powerful that nothing we might consider abominable can affect him. An example sometimes given to explain the position of the Supreme Lord is that of the sun, which evaporates urine from the earth but is never affected by contamination. The Supreme Lord can never be accused for doing anything wrong. When Lord Brahma went to induce Priyavrata to accept the responsibility for ruling the universe, he did not go whimsically. He was following the dictation of the Supreme Lord. Indeed, Brahma and other Gnan authorities never do anything without his permission. The Supreme Lord is situated in everyone's heart. In the beginning of Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam, it is said, Tene Brahma Rida Ya Adi Kavaye. The Lord dictate very Vedic knowledge to Brahma through his heart. The more a living entity is purified by devotional service, the more he comes in direct contact with the Supreme Personality of Godhead, as confirmed in Śrīmad-Bhāgavad-Gita. Tesam satata yuktanam bhajatam pritipurvakam dadami buddhiyogantam yenamam upayantitim. To those who are constantly devout and worship me with love, I give the understanding by which they can come to me. Bhagavad Gita 10:10. Lord Brahma, therefore, had not come to Priyavrata by his own whims. Rather, it is understood that he had been ordered to persuade Priyavrata by the Supreme Personality of Godhead, whose activities cannot be understood by material senses, and who is therefore described herein as Aplameya. Thus, Lord Brahma first advised Priyavrata to hear his word with attention and without envy. Why one is induced to perform certain acts despite his desire to do something else indicates herein. One cannot disobey the orders of the Supreme Lord, even if one is as powerful as Lord Shiva, Lord Brahma, Manu, or the great sage Narada. All these authorities are certainly very powerful, but they do not have the power to disobey the order of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Since Lord Brahma had come to Priyavrata in accordance with the orders of the Supreme Lord, he first wanted to dispel any suspicion that he might be acting as Priyavrata's enemy. Lord Brahma was following the order of the Supreme Lord, and therefore it would be worthwhile for Priyavrata to accept Lord Brahma's order as the Lord desire. The answer is there. See. For the maintenance of the world thing, Priyavrata should become king, because the Supreme Lord ordered this. So thank you for the quick lecture, quickly reading, and Vancha Kalpatarubhyacha Kripasindubhya. If I commit any offenses to you all, and
Thank you
please
so much for joining Guru Shakti Prabhu.
keep reading.
Hare
I'm very
Krishna,
sorry.
bro. Tanod pranam.
Hare Krishna
Hare
Prabhu,
Krishna,
Tanda
Shubham Prabhu,
Prancha Shri
Hare
Prabhupada.
Jai Shri Prabhupada.
I need to leave now because I have also a reading session in a
Yes,
few
Prabhu.
minutes.
Thank you so much
Thank
for
you very
joining.
much. Yeah, thank you.
Thank you,
Who was
Prabhu. Me, Prabhu.
Oh, Hari Bol. Yes, Prabhu. We have like 20 minutes.
20 minutes.
Yes, Prabhu. Something like that.
Prabhu. I was planning to read the whole year. Okay, let me just open. Okay, let me check. I think I still need to add more time also for my, what do you call this? Sadhana. Oh, I cannot touch my phone. 1 second, Prabhu. Just want to minimize and come back. Okay. Okay, where the first one there? Okay. Na tasya kaschit tapasa vidyaya va na yoga viryena manishyaya va naivarata dharmai parataha svato va kratam vihanutum tanu brahat vibhuyat. Synonyms. Na never tasya he is casted anyone tapasa by austerity vidyaya by education va or na never yoga by power of mystic yoga viryena by personal strength manishya by intelligence va or na never ever certainly artha by material opulence dharmai by the power of religion parataha by any external power swataha by personal endeavor va or kratam the order vihantum to avoid danu brat a living entity who has accepted a material body vibhuyat is able. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. One cannot avoid the order of the Supreme Personality of Godhead not by the strength of severe austerity and exalted Vedic education or the power of mystic yoga. Yes, Prabhu, Gora Shakti Prabhu left. Okay, let me restart. Translation. One cannot avoid the order of the Supreme Personality of Godhead not by the strength of severe austerity and exalted Vedic education or the power of mystic yoga, physical prowess, or intellectual activities, nor can one use his power of religion, his material opulence, or any other means, either by himself or with the help of others, to defy the orders of the Supreme Lord. That is not possible for any living being from Brahma down to the end. One cannot avoid. Purport. In the Garga Upanishads, Garga Muni says to his wife, Etasya va aksharasya prasasane gari surya charadar chandarma sau vidartau Tishtataham. My dear Gargi, everything is under the control of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Even the sun, the moon, and other controllers and demigods like Lord Brahma and King Indra are all under his control. An ordinary human being or animal who has accepted a material body cannot go beyond the jurisdiction of the Supreme Personality of Godhead's control. A material body includes senses. However, the senses activities of so-called scientists who try to be free from God's law or the laws of nature are useless. This is also confirmed in Bhagavad Gita 7.14. Mama Maya Durataya. It is impossible to suppress the control of material nature, for the Supreme Personality of Godhead is working behind it. Sometimes we are proud of our austerities, penances, and mystic yogic powers, but it is clearly stated herein that one cannot suppress the laws and directions of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, either by dint or mystic power. Dint of mystic power. A scientific education or austerities and penances. It is impossible. The word manishayam by intelligence is of special significance. Priyavrata might argue that Lord Brahma was requesting him to accept family life and the responsibility for ruling a kingdom, although Narada Muni had advised him not to enter household life and to be entangled in material affairs. Whom to can go down, Prabhu. Is it accept? Whom to accept would be a puzzle for Priyavrata, because both Lord Brahma and Narada Muni are authorities under the circumstances. The use of the words Manishaya is very appropriate, for it indicates that since both Narada Muni and Lord Brahma are authorized to give instruction, Priyavrata, should neglect neither of them, but should use his intelligence to follow the advice of both. To solve such dilemmas, Srila Rupa Goswami has given a very clear conception of intelligence. He says, Anasaktasya vishayan yataraham upayunjataha nirbandaha Krishna sambande yuktam vairagyam uchyate. Vishayan, material affairs should be accepted without attachment, and everything should be devoted with the service of the Lord. That is a real intelligence. Manisha, there's no apostrophe there. No? Oh, Manisha, becoming a family man or king in the material world is not harmful if one accepts everything for Krishna's service. That necessitates clear intelligence. Mayavadi philosophers say Brahma Satyam Jagan Mitya. Mitya. This material world is false and only the absolute truth is real. However, an intelligent devotee in the line of Lord Brahma and the great sage Narada, or in other words, in the Brahma Sampradaya, does not consider this world false. That which is created by the Supreme Personality of Godhead cannot be false. But using it for this world is not false. Okay, that which is created by the Supreme Personality of Godhead cannot be false. But using it for enjoyment or then it becomes false. The hedonic treadmill. Everything is meant to be enjoyed by the Supreme Personality of Godhead, as confirmed in Bhagavad Gita 5.29. 29. Wow. Bhoktaram yagna tapasam saravaloka maheshwaram. The Supreme Personality of Godhead is the supreme proprietor and enjoyer, and therefore everything should be devoted for his enjoyment and service, regardless of one's circumstances, favorable or unfavorable. One should use everything to serve the Supreme Lord. That is the perfect way to use one's intelligence. Oh, hey, Semi Prabhu. Semi Prabhu.
Yes, Prabhu.
Do you remember yesterday I was actually crying about Mangala Aarti?
Who were you? What happened?
Didn't you hear, Prabhu? I was actually crying from Mangala Aarti videos to Praveen Prabhu that he must take videos of Mangala Aarti.
Oh, yes, Prabhu.
Yeah, and it so happens that while we were discussing, it happened that ISKM dropped a Mangala Aarti video that takes like 22 minutes, right
Oh,
at the time we were discussing.
Yeah, there is many, I think. There is 4 of them.
Oh, yes, Prabhu. Actually, the one that they did, it's like they did it yesterday. It was uploaded, yesterday, yeah.
Yes, Prabhu.
Yeah, but then I've never seen one, Prabhu. If you see them, please share, Prabhu.
Oh, yes, Prabhu, I'll share. There is few others.
Okay, Prabhu. Bhavaya nashaya cha karma kartum shokaya mohaya sada bhayaya sukaya dukaya cha dehayogam avyakta dishtam janatanga dahate. Synonyms: Bhavaya for birth, and Ashaya for death, Cha also karma activities, Karatum to do, Shokaya for bereavement, Mohaya for illusion, Sada always, Bayaya for fear, Sukaya for happiness, Tukaya for distress, Cha also Deha Yogam, connection with a material body, Avyakta by the Supreme Personality of Godhead, the Shtam directed, Jana Janata, the living entities, Anga O Priya Varata, that they accept. Translation: My dear Priya Vrata, by the orders of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, all living entities accept different types of bodies for birth and death, activity, lamentation, illusion, fear of future dangers, and happiness and distress. Purport: every living entity who has come to this material world has come here for material enjoyment. Oh, But according to his own karma activities, he must accept a certain type of body given to him by material nature under the order of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. As stated in Bhagavad Gita 3.27, Prakrite Kriya Manani Gunai Karmani Saravashaha. Semi Prabhu, I was saying I could imagine that in this world it says that we come and we came because we wanted to enjoy. So imagine you were born like you were like let's say you have 1 year and then you find Krishna consciousness, meaning your whole lifetime it's not about enjoyment, right? It's just austerity. It's like when you go back to Godhead, they're gonna ask you, what were you going to do? What were you doing? Because it's like we request to enjoy. And then once we reach here, we see, oh, this enjoyment is full of miseries. And then now we want austerity. It's like when you come back, they're gonna fight and say, what were you doing? I can only imagine. Where was I, Prabhu?
That's true. In the purport, but I forgot this part.
Okay, yeah. Prakrite Kriya Manani Gunai Karmani Sarveshaha. Everything is being done by Prakriti, material nature under the direction of the Supreme Lord. Modern scientists do not know why there are varieties of bodies in 8.4 million forms. The fact is that all these bodies are ordained for the living entities by the Supreme Personality of Godhead, according to the living entities' desires. He gives the living entities freedom to act as they like. But on the other hand, they must accept a body according to the reactions of the activities. Prabhuhana, which sloka is this in Bhagavad Gita? But still, I have given you can still do whatever you want. I've given you confidential knowledge, but you can still do whatever you choose, you wish. Do you know it? Or any devotee who
Yes,
knows it?
Prabhu. In the 18 something, I forgot.
Oh, yes, Prabhu. According to the reactions of their activities. Thus, there are different types of bodies. Some living entities have short duration of life, whereas other living for fantastic durations. Every one of them, however, from Brahma down to the end, acts according to the direction of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, who is sitting in everyone's heart as confirmed in Bhagavad Gita 15:15. Sarvasya chaham hirde sani vishto mataha smriti gyananam apohanam cha. Can go down, Prabhu. I am seated in everyone's heart, and from me comes remembrance, knowledge, and forgetfulness. It is not a fact. It is not a fact, however, that the Supreme Personality of Godhead gives direction to certain living entities in one way and other living entities in another way. Oh, that is politicians. The truth is that every living entity has a certain desire, and the Supreme Lord gives him a chance to fulfill it. The best cause, therefore, is to surrender unto the Supreme Personality of Godhead and act according to his desire. One who does so is liberated. Oh, and I've learned about the 5 types of liberations. Do you know them, Sabi Prabhu? The 5 types of liberations. Saloka, the ones in the different. I forgot them in English.
But Prabhu, I didn't hear that. Which
Sorry,
English?
Prabhu. No, I was saying, do you know the 5 types of liberation? I think I heard it in one lecture.
Yes, Prabhu.
Shayaloka, something like that, yeah. Can go down, Prabhu. Yadvachitantyam guna karma dambihi sudustarai vatavayam suyojitaha sarve vahamo balim ishvaraya prokta nasiva dvipade chachupadaha. Synonym set of whom Vachi in the form of Vedic instructions, Dantyam to a long rope, guna of quality, karma and work, Dambihi by the ropes, Sudustarahi, very difficult to avoid, Vata, my dear boy, Vayam, we, su yo Yojitaha are engaged, survey all, Vaha Maha, carry out Balim orders to please him. Ishvaraya, unto the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Proktaha, being bound, Nasi in the nose, Iva like Dvipade, to the two-legged driver. Chatur Padaha, the four-legged bull. Translation, my dear boy, all of us are bound by the Vedic injunctions to the divisions of Varna Arsharam according to our qualities and work. These divisions are difficult to avoid because they are scientifically ranged. We must therefore carry out our duties of Varnarasharam Dharma like bulls obliged to move according to the directions of a driver pulling on ropes not knotted to their noses. Purport. In this verse, the word Tandyam, Guna, Karma, Dambihi are very important. We each get a body according to our association with the gunas, the qualities or modes of material nature, and we act accordingly as stated in Bhagavad Gita, the four orders of the social systems, namely Brahmana, Kshatriya, Vaishya, and Shudra, are arranged according to guna, karma, their qualities and work. There is some controversy about this, however, because some say that since one receives a body according to the gunas and karma of his past life, it is one's birth that determines his next life. Can go down, Prabhu. Determines his social status. Others say, however, that one's birth according to the guna and karma of his past life is not the essential consideration, since one can change his guna and karma even in this life. Thus, they say that the four divisions of the social order, Brahmana, Kshatriya, Vaishya, and Sudra, should be arranged according to their guna and karma of this life. While instructing Maharaj Yudhishthira about the symptoms of guna and karma, Narada Muni said that these symptoms must govern the divisions of society. In other words, if a perfect born in the family of a Brahmana has the symptoms of a Shudra, he should be designated as a Shudra. Similarly, if a Shudra has Brahminical qualities, he should be designated a Brahmana. The Varnarasharam system is scientific. Therefore, if we accept the divisions of Varna and Arsharam according to the Vedic injunctions, our lives will be successful. Unless human society is thus divided and arranged, it cannot be perfect, as stated in the Vishnu Purana 3.8.9. Varnarasharam Charavata Purushena Paraha Puman Vishnu Aradayate Panta Nanyattatosha Karanam. The Supreme Personality of Godhead, Lord Vishnu, is worshipped by the proper execution of prescribed duties in the system of Varna and Asharama. There is no other way to satisfy the Supreme Personality of Godhead. One must be situated in the institution of the four Varna and Asharam. All of human societies is meant to worship Lord Vishnu at the present moment. However, human society does not know that this is the ultimate goal or perfection of life. Therefore, instead of worshipping Lord Vishnu, people have been educated to worship Meta, Hitler, of worshipping Lord Vishnu. According to the directions of modern society, men think they can advance in civilization by manipulating matter to build skyscrapers, big roads, automobiles, and so on. Such a civilization must certainly be called materialistic because its people do not know the goal of life. The goal of life is to reach Vishnu. But instead of reaching Vishnu, people are bewildered by the external objects, manifestations of the material energy. Therefore, Progress in material advancement is blind, and the leaders of such material advancement are also blind. They are leading their followers in the wrong way. It is best, therefore, to accept the injunctions of the Vedas, which are mentioned in this verse as Yadiva Chi. In accordance with those injunctions, everyone should find out whether he is a Brahmana, Kshatriya, Vaishya, or Shudra, and should thus be educated accordingly. Then his life will be successful. Otherwise, all of human society will be confused if human society is divided scientifically according to Varana and Ashram. And if the Vedic directions are followed, one's life, regardless of his possession, will be successful. It is not that Brahmanas will be elevated to the transcendental platform, but not the Shudras. If the Vedic injunctions are followed, all of them, Brahmanas, Kshatriyas, Vaishyas, and Sudras, will be elevated to the transcendental platform and their lives will be successful. The injunctions in the Vedas are explicit directions from the Supreme Personality of Godhead. The example cited in this verse is that bulls tied by ropes in their nostrils move according to the directions of the driver. Similarly, if we move according to the instructions of the Vedas, the perfect paths for our lives will be set. Otherwise, if we do not move in that way, but according to our whimsical ideas, our lives will be spoiled by confusion and will end in despair. Actually, because people at the present moment are not following the instructions of the Vedas, they are all confused. We must therefore accept the instructions by the Lord Brahma to Priyavrata at the factual scientific directions leading to the success of life. This is also confirmed in Bhagavad Gita 16.23. Yaha Shastra Vidim Utsarejya Varatate Kama Karataha Nasa Siddhim Avapnoti Na Sukham Na Param Gatim. If we do not live according to the injunctions of the Shastras, the Vedas, we shall never achieve success in life, to say nothing of happiness or elevation to higher status of living. Isha bis Rashtam Hey Avarodamahenga Dukam Sukam Va Gunakarma Sangat Astaya Tat Yat Ayun Tat Natas Charakshushmatanda Ivani Yamanaha. Synonyms: Isha be Rastam, created or given by the Lord. He certainly Avarundamahe. We have to accept Anga, my dear Priyavrata, Dukam, distress, Sukam, happiness, Va or Guna Karma, with quality and work, Sangat, by association, Astaya, being situated in, that condition, Yat, which body, Ayunta, Ayunta, that one, very confusing, Adyunta, can go down, up. Being situated in that condition, yet which body Ayunkta ye gave Nataha, the Supreme Lord, Chakshush Mata, by a person having eyes, Andaha, blind man, Iva, like Niyamanaha, being conducted. Translation: My dear Priyavrata, according to our association with different modes of material nature, the Supreme Personality of Godhead gives us our specific bodies and the happiness and distress we achieve. One must therefore remain situated as he is and be conducted by the Supreme Personality of Godhead, exactly as a blind man is led by a person who has eyes with which to see. Hmm? Can I read that last part? One must therefore remain situated as he is and be conducted by the Supreme Personality of Godhead, exactly as a blind man is led by a person who has eyes with or which to see. Purport: by material means one cannot avoid the happiness and the stress unique to his particular body. There are 8.4 million bodily forms. Each each destined to enjoy and suffer a certain amount of happiness and distress. This we cannot change, for the happiness and distress are ordained by the Supreme Personality of Godhead in accordance with whose decision we have received our bodies. Since we cannot avoid the plans of the Supreme Godhead, we must agree to be directed by Him, just as a blind man is led by a person who has eyes. Under any circumstances, if we remain in the condition allotted to us by the Supreme Lord and follow His instructions, we will become perfect. The main purpose of life is to follow the instructions of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. It is such. Can go down, bro. It is such instructions that constitute one's religion or occupational duty. In Bhagavad Gita, therefore, Lord Krishna says, Sarva Dharma Parityajam Mam Ekam Sharanam Vrajam. Give up all other engagements. Simply surrender unto me and follow me. Bhagavad Gita 18.66. This is the process of surrendering by following the instructions of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Is not meant for any particular caste or creed. A Brahmana can surrender, and so can a Kshatriya, Vaishya, or Sudra. Everyone can adopt this process, as stated in this verse. Chakshusha Mata Andaha Iva Niyamanaha. One should follow the Lord the way a blind man follows a person who has eyes. If we follow the Supreme Personality of Godhead by following the directions He gives in the Vedas and Bhagavad Gita, our lives will be successful. The Lord therefore says, Man mana bhava mad bhakto madhyagi mam namaskuru mam eva ishyasi satyam te prati jane priyoshime. I don't know which one is it. As always think of me, become my devotee, and offer respect and obeisances unto me. Then you will certainly come back home, back to Godhead. I promise you this because you are my very dear friend. Bhagavad Gita 18.65. This instructions is meant for everyone, Brahmana, Kshatriya, Vaishya, or Sudra. If anyone from any division of life surrenders to the Supreme Personality of Godhead and follows his instructions, his life will be successful. The previous verse has given the analogy of bulls moving under the directions of the driver of a bullock cart. The bulls, being completely surrendered to the driver, remain wherever he wants to place them and eat whatever he wants them to eat. Similarly, being completely surrendered to the Supreme Personality of Godhead, we should not aspire for happiness or regret distress. We must be satisfied with the position allotted to us by the Lord. We should follow the path of devotional service and not be dissatisfied with the happiness and distress He has given. Okay, happiness and distress He has given. People can go up, Prabhu. I think I lost my place now. People in the material modes of passion and ignorance generally cannot understand the plan of the Supreme Personality of Godhead with its 8.4 million forms of life. But the but the human form affords one the special privilege to understand this plan, engage in devotional service, and elevate oneself to the highest position of perfection. By following the Lord's instructions, the entire world is working under the influence of the modes of material nature, especially ignorance and passion. But if people engage in hearing and chanting about the glories of the Supreme Lord, their lives can be successful and they can be elevated to the highest perfection. In the Paharan Naradya Purana, therefore it is said, Hare Nama, Hare Nam, if I give alam kalunaste. Hare Nama, Hare Nama, Hare Namaiva Kevalam Kalu Nasti Avanasti Avanasti Eva Gati Anyata. In this age of Kali, there is no other way, no other way for spiritual perfection than the holy name, the holy name, the holy name of the Lord. Everyone should be given the chance to hear the Lord's names of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. For thus one will gradually come to understand his real position in life and be elevated to the transcendental position above the mode of goodness. Thus all impediments to his progress will be cut to pieces. In conclusion, therefore, we must be satisfied in whatever position we have been put into by the Supreme Personality of Godhead, and we should try to engage ourselves in devotional service. Then our lives will be successful. Yeah, and another person can read, Prabhu.
Haribol. Okay, now we can go to 6 Astakam prayers because it's really late.
Oh, Haribo.
Thank you so much, Lebang Prabhu.
Thank you, Prabhu.
Who wants to start?
Cheto darpanam marjanam bhavamahadavagni nirvapanam shreya kaivachandika vitaranam vidyavadu jivanam anandam buddhivardhanam pratipadam pranamritasvadanam sarvatma snapanam param vijayate Shri Krishna Sankirtanam.
नाम्नामकारि बहुधानि च सर्वशक्तिस्तत्रार्पितानि अमिता स्मरणेन काला एतादृशी तव कृपा भगवन्ममापि निर्दैवं तेषां याचनीनां वाक्रः
Chenarapi sunichena taro api sahishnuna manina manadena kirtaniya sada hari.
न धनं न जनं न सुन्दरीं कवितां वा जगदीशकामये मम जन्मनि जन्मनीश्वरे भवतात् भक्तिरयेति त्वयि
Hainanda tanuja kinkaram patitam mam vishame bhavam burau kripaya tvavapada pankaja stithaduli satrishim vichintaya.
नयनं वलदश्रुधारया वदनं वदतिदुरितया विवाकुलकैर्निचितं वपुर्गा तव नामकं भविष्यति
Yugaitam nimishena chakshusha pravishaitam shunyaitam jagat sarvam govinda viraye name.
आश्लेषवातादरतां तनष्टुमाम् अरर्षमामर्मातां करोतु वा यथा तथा वा विदधातुलं पितो न प्राणनाथस्तेव मातरः
Glories to the Shri Krishna Sankirtan. Okay, glories to the Shri Krishna Sankirtan, which cleanses the heart of all the dust. Glories to the Shri Krishna Sankirtana, which cleanses the heart of all the dust accumulated for years and extinguishes the fire of conditional life of repeated birth and death. This Sankirtan movement is the prime benediction for humanity at large because it spreads the rays of the benediction moon. It is the life of all transcendental knowledge. It increases the ocean of transcendental bliss and it enables us to fully taste the nectar for which we are always anxious.
O my Lord, your holy name alone can render all benedictions to the living beings, and thus you have hundreds and millions of names like Krishna and Govinda. In these transcendental names, you have invested all your transcendental energies. There are not even hard and fast rules for chanting these names. O my Lord, out of your kindness, you enable us to easily approach you by chanting your holy names. But I am so unfortunate that I have no attraction for them.
One should chant the holy name of the Lord in a humble state of mind, thinking oneself than the straw in the street. One should be more tolerant than a tree, devoid of all sense of false prestige and ready to offer all respects to others in such a state of mind. One can chant the holy name of the Lord constantly.
Almighty Lord, I have no desire to accumulate wealth, nor do I desire beautiful women, nor do I want any number of followers, and only want to cause devotional service birth after birth.
O son of O son of Maharaj Nanda Krishna, I am your eternal saviator, yet somehow or other I have fallen into the ocean of birth and death. Please pick me up from this ocean of death and place me as one of the atoms of your lotus feet.
O my Lord, when will my eyes be decorated with tears of love flowing constantly when I chant the holy name? When will my eyes step up and when will the prayers of attainment and the recitation of your name?
O Govinda, feeling your separation, I'm considering a moment to be like 12 years or more. Tears are flowing from my eyes like torrents of rain, and I'm feeling all vacant in the world in your absence.
I know no one but Krishna is my Lord, and he shall remain so even if he understands me of loneliness and by makes me broken hearted by not doing presently for me. He is completely free to do anything and everything, for he is always my worshipful Lord unconditionally. Shri Shri Shashtakan ki jai, Shri
Jai.
Chaitanya Mahaprabhu ki jai.
Jai.
Yeah. Bahu janma kari yadi shravana kirtana tabutana paya Krishna pare prema dana If one is infested with the 10 offenses and the chanting of the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra, despite his endeavor to chant the holy name for many births, he will not get the love of Godhead. That is the ultimate goal of this chanting. The offenses against the chanting of the holy name are as follows. The first offense, to blaspheme the devotees who have dedicated their life for propagating the holy name of the Lord.
Second offense, to consider the names of demigods like Lord Shiva or Lord Brahma to be equal to or independent of the name of the Vishnu.
Third offense is to disobey the orders of the spiritual master, thinking him as an ordinary person.
Fourth offense, to blaspheme the Vedic literature in pursuance of the Vedic version.
Fifth offense, to consider the glories of chanting Hare Krishna to be an imagination.
Sixth offense, to give some interpretation on the holy name of the Lord.
Seventh offense, to commit sinful activities on the strength of the holy name of the Lord.
Eighth offense, to consider the chanting of Hare Krishna as one of the auspicious ritualistic activities offered in the Vedas as other activities for no conduct.
Ninth offense, to instruct the faithless persons about the glories of the holy name. To instruct the faithless person about the glories of the holy name.
10th offense is to not have complete faith in the chanting of the holy names and to maintain material attachments even after understanding so many instructions on this matter. It is also an offense to be inattentive while chanting. Every devotee who clings to a Vaishnava must guard against these offenses in order to quickly achieve the desired success of Krishna Prema. And let us offer our spiritual obeisances unto all the Vaishnava devotees of the earth. They can fulfill the desires of everyone just like desired is, and they are full of compassion for the fallen conditioned souls. Mancha
Ananta Kaitava Vaishnava Vrinda ki jai, Brahmacharya Srila Ridasta Pura ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Jai Gaura Premanandi.
Hari Hari Bol.
Cool. Thank you so much for associating.